I'm Noah Campbell, Technical Marketing at BlackBerry, and we're here with Sriram, our Senior Director of Product Management for CylanceGATEWAY. Sriram, introduce yourself for us.
Hey Noah, happy to be back here again, conversing with you on some cool topics. So, hello to everyone. My name is Sriram Krishnan. I lead the ZTNA charter for BlackBerry. My role, or rather, my mission is to deliver a best in class ZTNA experience for businesses and enterprises, help businesses protect their cyber assets, and provide peace of mind to CIOs, CXOs, and CSOs.
Fantastic. And we're happy to have you and your wealth of knowledge here because what we're talking about is zero trust network access and zero trust access in general and software as a service applications. We know that companies, of course, continue to adopt various software as a service applications or SaaS applications to run their daily lives and perform all kinds of functions, but we really want to make sure those are reinforced with some strong security. So can you talk about why it's important to integrate zero trust network access and SaaS applications for us?
So that's a great question, Noah. Let's level set by defining what ZTNA is, what SaaS is, and then it will make it very easy for our audience to understand the importance of ZTNA in protecting a SaaS-based rollout. So what is ZTNA? So ZTNA is a solution that delivers secure access from anywhere, anytime, from any healthy device, managed or unmanaged, to business resources residing anywhere. It can be on-prem, it can be cloud, public or private, it can be a SaaS app, employing principles of zero trust such as least privilege access, continuous authentication and authorization, network threat protection. Simply put, ZTNA is anywhere, anytime, just in time, just enough secure access. Okay. So what are SaaS apps? So SaaS apps are basically business apps that are coded, owned, and managed remotely by third-party service providers. So they are in a way a subset of cloud computing. And the most important benefit of a SaaS application is they deliver whenever, wherever type of access. So as long as you have an internet connection, you'll be able to access a SaaS application. Isn't it like very convenient?
We use them, we rely on them. Really important one to level set. I agree with you on what they are and what zero trust network access is. But now, how do we bring those two together?
Okay, so we both agree that SaaS apps provide immense benefit. ZTNA provides immense benefits too. But let's look into some of the shortcomings with the SaaS apps, especially for the CISOs. Okay. Because the CISOs are the ones whom we have to really protect, isn't it?
Right.
So for the CISOs, when it comes to SaaS apps, it is going to lessen their cyber resiliency. Okay. Why is it so? So the SaaS apps leads into lack of visibility. Okay. So that's the number one shortcoming with the SaaS apps, and we'll find out why the lack of visibility happens with SaaS apps. Lack of security controls, okay, and lack of data governance. Compare and contrast with on-prem, okay. When it comes to on-prem, you will have firewalls, you will have network security appliances, you will have content filtering appliances. So when it is on-prem apps, the CSOs, they have complete visibility into everything that is passing through their different security appliances. So they're able to employ security controls, and they're also able to employ data governance. And they lose all these attributes when they start moving to the SaaS apps. Why is it so? Because in the world of SaaS apps, these on-prem network and security appliances, they become obsolete. Okay. So there has to be a new way of redefining security in the world of SaaS, and that is where ZTNA plays a very important role. What the enterprises were doing is, until the advent of zero trust network access, is force their users to send their SaaS traffic through the on-prem network security appliances. And this is what is called as hat pinning. And it creates unnecessary overheads for the on-prem network and security appliances. And it also like it's a double whammy. Okay, on the one end, it's overloading the on-prem appliances, and at the other spectrum, it is also creating a friction for the end users from an overall experience standpoint. So the end users, they very smartly circumvent this on-prem based access and try to directly reach out to the SaaS apps. And that is what results into data loss, and it results into situations where a rogue user may be able to play havoc with the SaaS data, so on and so forth. So it is for these reasons ZTNA becomes very absolute when it comes to ensuring that even though SaaS apps are going to provide a number of transformational benefits, it need not come at the cost of either security or impacting the user experience. So our ZTNA solution especially is going to provide the best of the both worlds. It is going to provide secure access, and at the same time, it is also going to provide a best-in-class experience for the end users. So hopefully like it helps our audience understand the importance of ZTNA in the context of a SaaS-based application rollout.
No, that's really important and descriptive, right? If users are challenged with something that's going to kind of adversely affect their productivity, they're going to try to find ways around it, right? And so when we think about that, you mentioned this, but we know that users could try to circumvent SaaS applications if security isn't growing and scaling to what they need. But how are threat actors also hijacking SaaS applications to carry out various attacks?
So I think we have to view it from the prism of what are some of the attacks that can take place in the context of SaaS apps. So many attacks that otherwise like takes place even with on-prem based solutions can also occur with a SaaS based rollout, and that includes attacks pertaining to DNS tunneling. It can be a phishing based attack. It can be a credential misuse. It can be session hijacking, broken authentication. I'm sure like those words resonate for you too, because we both wrote some blog articles on session hijacking and broken authentication, a lack of secure access, shadow IT.
When we come to the use of SaaS applications, right, we've established they're important, folks need to use them. But if folks want to use them, you may have the risk of employees trying to circumvent, and then you have the regular threat landscape that we're already trying to deal with. So we're kind of got two fronts that we need to protect against to make sure we can still use these super productive, super helpful applications. So double down a little bit more on what you were talking about with how ZTNA protects against these types of attacks and also these circumvention. You mentioned beacon detection, you mentioned C2 command and control, but how can we use ZTNA to actually, work around any kind of either employee kind of shadow IT or also continuing these kind of hijacking of our sessions? How is ZTNA? You said it inherently does that. Explain that a little more.
Well, absolutely. I want to make it easy for our audience, okay? Even though I explained a whole lot about the different types of protection mechanisms the ZTNA solution can offer, the good news is many of the protection mechanisms comes very automatically when a ZTNA solution like ours is being deployed. So we hide the complexities of how exactly like these things manifests in terms of protection. But what I can share with our audience is three important things that a ZTNA solution like ours delivers from a SaaS app protection standpoint. Conditional access, source IP pinning, and one-click configuration. Okay, let's like double click on each one of them. So what is conditional access? So conditional access foundationally ensures that the end users are able to access the SaaS resources only when the gateway tunnel is mounted. Remember, the SaaS application access also needs to be protected, okay, from a network protection standpoint. There has to be like protection, and conditional access delivers that capability. And in the process, conditional access also ensures that the SaaS apps can only receive traffic from certain IP ranges. And that leads us into source IP pinning. So what source IP pinning does is it ensures that only a pre-configured set of IP addresses are allowed to be reached out to the SaaS apps. So that configuration actually has to happen at the SaaS apps end, whether it is Salesforce or Office 365 or Google Apps, which we very recently supported, will have to be configured to only receive connections from particular IP addresses. And here we have built in immense flexibility. Okay, let me tell you like what that flexibility is. So when I said that only like the connections will be received from certain IP address ranges, many solution providers, they would want to provide their own IP address ranges. Okay, and that IP address range will be shared across multiple customers. But we do like two important things for our customers. One is we let our customers bring their own IP addresses, okay, for source IP pinning. No need to use the IP addresses that we supply. But some customers, they may want to let us supply the IP addresses, and we are ready to supply those IP addresses. But the good news is those IP addresses are still going to be very exclusive for that customer. We are not going to share that IP address with anyone else. But comparable solutions, they use like one common set of IP addresses that they share with multiple customers, and with that comes certain inherent security risks. Okay, so that's like related to source IP pinning. The third thing is you can build the greatest of the feature, but you need to make it easy even for the administrators to implement it.
Right.
So to make it easy for the administrators to implement these functionalities, we have what is called as one-click configuration. So with one click, administrators will be able to have conditional access, source IP pinning, and all of the threat detection, network protection, secure access, all those cool capabilities extended to the users with one click. Okay, we take care of all of the complexities behind the provisioning, behind managing the IP address ranges, which can change, but we have a team that exclusively works in ensuring that whatever IP address range changes takes place are being taken care by us so that the end user does not error out at any point of time. So we today support close to 50 apps, 47 SaaS apps to be specific, and that list is growing. If customers have got a popular SaaS app that is not currently in this list, we should be very easily able to add support for them. Now we are super excited to add support for Google Workspace apps so that with one click, our administrators will be able to bring in all of these different protection capabilities that the SaaS apps desperately need to protect the business assets. So that's in a nutshell how our business customers can benefit from utilizing our Silence Gateway ZTNA solution to protect their SaaS apps.